Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur. Hey, it's Elizabeth Plouffe, and welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails. Today is Wise Word Wednesdays, and we are back on the book track. I've been doing a couple of software Wise Word Wednesday moments just because I love sharing all kinds of resources, and I happen to be a bit of a tech geek. I mean, not extreme by any stretch of the imagination, but I do really enjoy sharing stuff that make my life easier, and especially in communications. So, I've talked about FreePic and Canva and a few other things, and I might even do Hootsuite, although most of you probably know Hootsuite. So we're back on the book thing, and I'm doing this again. And I did this when I did Think and Grow Rich, because this week's book is Originals, How Nonconformists Move the World by Adam Grant. And I also have his book Give and Take, so I'm going to be doing that one as well. And I'm so overwhelmed with what I learned from this book. And again, that's all the stickies that are, I even marked up a book, which I never do. I put little tick marks where I found really inspirational little quotes and aha moments and what have you. And I do have a paragraph or two that I want to read to you. But this is just a great book for understanding what being original means, how you can look at being an original, and how it applies. And I'm going to backpedal a little bit because this book has a special meaning to me. I was recently involved in June with an event called Spark the Change Toronto, which I've talked about before. And I met a ton of amazing people. And I'm really fortunate to be involved with another event that touches on the Spark theme called the Happy Melly Exploration Day. And one of the reasons I'm so enthusiastic about these events is that the participants, in particular the speakers, are so original, no pun intended, but they are so willing to teach and share and identify people. Are they struggling and here's a tool that I'm aware of, or do they have something that I've learned from? They're really open to accepting ideas from other people and then putting them into their toolbox so that they can turn around and be better at what they do. And I love that. I have worked in jobs where people learn things or find tools or what have you, and they refuse to share, which I think just sucks donkey disco balls. So that's one of the reasons I started Wise Word Wednesdays, is that I think everybody loves to learn and everybody likes things that make their life easier. And books, to me, are an investment of time. They are... this one, it honestly took me a little bit of a struggle to get going with it. Adam Grant tends to speak more in in more of a research tone than he does a conversational tone. And that could be because he's a professor and what have you. So for me, I'm just going to look him up here just so I can give you some facts on the guy, although I'm sure everybody knows who he is. He can be funny. His TED Talk on being an original is really good, and I'll include the link to this as well. So he is an author and professor at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Grant has been recognized, this is a wiki doohickey thingy, Grant has been recognized as both the youngest tenured and highest rated professor at the Wharton School. And when you see his TED Talk, he's really disarming and sweet, and you can tell he's extremely intelligent and wants people to learn, but his writing style is a little different. So be prepared. If you're looking for more of a Elizabeth Gilbert, Brene Brown, conversational kind of tone, more on the, I don't even know who, like Wayne Dyer comes to mind. Wayne Dyer, I find, rest his soul, gets very factual, and sometimes, to me anyway, and I consider myself relatively intelligent, talks above his audience. This doesn't happen. Like the information that's within the book on originals and what is considered being an original and what that identifies as is definitely digestible information. I just found it a bit dry. So that's at the beginning. Having said that, once I got into the meat of the book, I was ahaing all over the place. So it's freaking awesome. I really recommend that you give it a try. So I'm going to read to you. It's from the beginning. Oh, I didn't finish this. Sorry, I didn't finish the spark story. And normally I write out what I'm going to talk about, and I didn't follow my own process today. So we went out to dinner, and there was a speaker there, Jennifer Spears, a lovely, lovely woman. And we started talking about books we had read, and I read all kinds of weird things. But I had just been reading Adam Grant's other book, Give and Take, which is also amazing, and I'll be, again, talking about that as well. And she looked at me and she said, "You are an original," which at the time I didn't understand the impact of that statement. And I'm used to being called unique and weird and different and whatever, but original was kind of a sling by for me. I didn't know how to process that. And the next day, Jennifer was heading out, and I'm having deja vu, so I may have talked about this on another podcast, but she had a copy of originals, and I wanted to take she was writing something on a Post-it note, and I wanted to take a picture of the book so that I could remember what it was and go and get it, because she was so enthusiastic about me reading it. And she had bought this copy for me, and she gave it to me, and I was in tears. And I'm not a mushball, but to think that somebody thought that I would get value out of this book and that I was so aligned with the message in the book, I was absolutely gobsmacked and bowled over. And so that's why I struggled through the first little bit of the book, because obviously if Jennifer thought it had value for me, I should respect that and take the time to read it. So glad I did. So here's Creative Destruction. I think this is in the intro. No, this is chapter 1, Creative Destruction. So this talks about the Warby Parkers, and I think it is. What is this? Yeah. So this is the genesis of the Warby Parker story, the online eyeglass company. But he writes here. Sorry, I just got to remove my sticky. Of course, nothing is completely original. Well, we'll go back a bit. Years ago, psychologists discovered that there are 2 routes to achievement: conformity and originality. Conformity means following the crowd down conventional paths and maintaining the status quo. Originality is taking the road less traveled, championing a set of novel ideas that go against the grain but ultimately make things better. Of course, nothing is completely original, in the sense that all of our ideas are influenced by what we learn from the world around us. We are constantly borrowing thoughts, whether intentionally or inadvertently. We're all vulnerable to kleptomania, accidentally remembering the ideas of others as our own. But by my definition, originality involves introducing and advancing an idea that's relatively unusual within a particular domain and that has the potential to improve it. Originality itself starts with creativity, generating a concept that is both novel and useful, but it doesn't stop there. Originals are people who take the initiative to make their vision a reality. The Warby Parker founders had the originality to dream up an unconventional way to sell glasses online, but became originals by taking action to make them easily accessible and affordable. This book is about how we can all become more original. There's a surprising clue in your web browser that you use to surf the internet. And that in and of itself is part of Adam Grant's TED Talk. He talks about if you choose the web browser that comes with your computer, or you take the opportunity to upgrade and make a change to things that are easier, which I found really interesting. But you'll have to read the book to find out more, or check out his TED Talk, which is 13 minutes of funny little brilliant pieces from his book and his observations. So I highly recommend it, especially if you are either somebody who, like me, gets identified frequently as a unique personality, who gets told that you run against the grain. My mother's always told me I do everything backwards. If there's a hard way to do something, I'll find it. Or you're the flip side, where you want to be more original and stand out more and be comfortable standing in that. And, even if it's something as small, honestly, it's a way to start. And I started this a year or 2 ago. This is kind of a fashion thing, but I got really bored with the clothes that I was wearing, because I always wore the same clothes together. Same pants, same shoes together, same top. Didn't vary. They just, it was easy and what have you. And I finally got fed up, but I couldn't afford to, go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. So the penny kind of dropped, and I said, you know what? It's just one day, because I was stressing out about what to wear. And did it match? Did it not match? And I was at the point where I was going to, call a friend in to match outfits up for me and whatever. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. You're stressing out over pants, for God's sake. So I jumped in, and for 2 months, I just put things together that I had never put together before. I mean, nothing, awful like a kindergartner wearing their bright orange pants with their, I don't know, plaid top. I don't know, just not a kindergartner outfit with fairy wings, but just different ways of doing things. And it was awesome. And it was one more step to being comfortable with being original. So honestly, take a look at this book. It's fantastic. I have so many things. I've created a whole line of Instagram posts crediting Adam Grant, because the stuff that pops out of here, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, my build buddy Hazel, and something popped out of this book. And one of the tools to getting ideas heard and acted upon is looking at your power and status within the opportunity. And not, I'm a millionaire, you're a garbage man, poo on you, but how long have you been with the organization? Have you proven yourself in other avenues so that you have the power or the status to be heard? Or are you new and you're trying to make changes right away, and you have neither the status nor the power to back up doing that? And I'm really guilty of that. And it took reading this book to realize why I may have rubbed people the wrong way when I jumped in and said, no, you got to change this and this and this because this would be better and all that, blah, blah, blah. Now I know. And what I was talking to my build buddy about was, combining her previous experience with her new business so that her experience and her education and what have you would give more power to her ideas. So I can't even remember which chapter that's in, but that was a real game changer for me. Was understand. Maybe it's Fools Rush In. Don't know. Anyway, maybe that's here. Hang on. Sorry, I can get a little caught up in detail. Out on a limb, I think it's in that chapter. But anyway, so have a look. That's the book for today for Wise Word Wednesdays. Is Originals: How Nonconformists Move the World by Adam Grant. Highly, highly recommend that you get it from the library, get it on your Kindle, buy it, whatever. If you're like me and you like to tick mark and sticky books, then getting your own copy is a good idea. And like my friend Jennifer did for me, if you feel somebody could benefit from them, pick up an extra copy and hand it to them. It has an impact, especially if it's somebody that you've been friends with for a while or what have you, and they value your opinion. It makes a difference. So just know that you have the guts and glory to make your own story. And you can visit me on Instagram at @MCVPlouffe, or Twitter is the same, @MCVPlouffe, or visit MCV Communications to learn more about how I help businesses, communicate better and maybe become more original in the process. Have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.